Going to Vision from L.A. Good morning.
Dominique, I mean, when we speak to you, sister, it's always so many subject matters to cover. And, I just always want to just thank you for the work that you're doing. We need to get you all around the world for everybody to hear the information that you put. But the conversation that I want to speak about today is in regards to the homeless crisis. Last week or so, Judge Carter had an emergency meeting with different members of downtown Los Angeles. Eric Garcetti didn't show up. And then within the last 2 or 3 days, we just found out that the attorney said that Eric Garcetti have the power to seize the hotel. I mean, they've been putting up tiny houses everywhere, tiny homes everywhere. And this is not going to stop the problem, because as it's raining today, this is around the same time a week or so ago, Mr. Judge Carter walked the streets of Los Angeles and seen the condition of the unhoused brothers and sisters. I mean, what does it take? We were there in numbers, letting them know that people care, people love the unhoused brothers and sisters, and we must do something about this situation. But yet and still, it's nothing being done. I mean, what do it take, sister? What can we do? How much do we need to speak out, taking the streets, making the city officials, making the judge understand, making humanity understand that this is a human rights issue throughout the world, but especially downtown Los Angeles. We know if they had the Olympics tomorrow, it would be cleaned up. So how can and what can we do to make Eric Garcetti and his people and the millions of people that really want to change in Los Angeles, how can we make something happen? I believe that should be a question for yourself, because you have the audience. You're
Yeah. Well, we've been asking that question for years. I don't think it's fair to say nothing is being done, but clearly not enough is being done. We've got a tsunami. We've got people on our streets, and I think you're right to say people who are houseless, because as I was talking about with my girlfriend the other day, it's like people stop looking at unhoused people as people, and they are people. They could be you, they could be me, they could be our relatives, our loved ones. And so, to your point, they should be seizing the hotels. I think, especially these crime-ridden flea bags that are all over the hood being rented by the hour. And why is the city giving them vouchers? So they can keep their criminal enterprise continuing. They need to go on and take that and make it into transitional housing. Pay fair market value and keep it moving.
Well, we know there are so many people doing so much, but like you say, it's not enough.
It's not enough.
City officials, Eric Garcetti, he have the power. I mean, the stroke of a pen to end homelessness tomorrow. He have that power.
Okay, I don't know about the stroke of a pen. How would it happen with the stroke of a pen? How would that happen?
I mean, it's already it's so many places throughout from 92 lives. I'm native of Los Angeles. I go through Los Angeles daily and see.
Right, but I'm just trying to. I mean, I'm really looking for. Oh, you're talking about all the abandoned lots, the abandoned buildings. That's what you're talking about? Okay. Because I don't know that can be done with the stroke of a pen. What the city attorney said was that he could force the hotels to, he could, use his emergency powers to put houseless people in hotels. And I think they should do that. Are there enough rooms to house every person on the street? I don't think so, because we have a lot of folks right now, right?
Well, they say the number, Dominique, is 66,000. We believe as unhoused advocates on the streets, the numbers is higher. But the point that we're making is so many ways to go about handling this unhoused crisis, and the hotels and these abandoned lots and building more homes or structures to accommodate for the unhoused brothers and sisters. We believe it can be done.
Why do you not like the tiny houses?
Well,
we don't have many of them here, by the way. It hasn't taken root in California, but I just want to know why you don't like them.
But I'm not saying that I don't necessarily like them. Yes, some of our advocate brothers and sisters are, coming up with debates about it. But our situation with City Hall sessions and other groups, a house is a house. Is somewhere where they can be out of the rain, be
So you're saying that's not the only solution. We need to look at every single. I agree.
Yes, ma'am. That's
every single
yes,
solution needs to be explored. I don't know. I think some of those lots are owned by this, private business, or they're zoned this way or zoned that way. So but at the end of the day, when you're talking about human life, it sounds like a bunch of excuses at a certain point, and we need to move, and we need to move boldly. And I saw this article, Vision, on the cover of the New York Times, where they were talking about, well, if progressivism doesn't work in California, where does it work? But I'm going to say that I don't think these are true progressives. And I hate to be saying that, but to me, the fact that we're not doing really bold initiatives, that's not true progressivism. And I hate to sound corny, but what would Bernie Sanders do? You know what I mean? What would Ilhan Omar do? What is a progressive? Anyone can call themselves a progressive. What would Ras Baraka do? You know what I mean? Your policies are not looking very progressive to me right now.
And that's the problem, that when we speak up about this unhoused situation and the power that Eric Garcetti has, the things that he's doing, the things that Judge Carter is really putting forth for city officials, and continuously calling these people to meetings and saying, listen, look, a week and a half or so ago, Mr. Judge Carter actually walked downtown, and he had his meeting at the women's shelter. We're thinking, this is great. The city officials is able, not that they don't see it when they get off the freeway and go to their court or go to their workplace, but we thought they was going to actually walk the streets of downtown Los Angeles.
Right, like the judge did. Right.
Like the judge did. We see it every day. And people in high places, people that don't have this up and close personal relationship with unhoused brothers and sisters, they really need to see the condition, because, again, it's raining. It's raining right now.
Well, look,
this is the same conditions that the judge seen himself and made him call this emergency meeting that he had a week ago.
Right, got it. Okay, look, I've got a lot of people that want to talk. I need you to land, and this is what I wanted to ask him, and hopefully he'll call back. What should we be doing? The Front Page family, the people that consider themselves change makers, and those of us that are in the media. Because I feel like we say the same things over and over and over again. What's the definition of crazy? You do the same thing over and over and over again, and you don't get a different result. We need a different result. And, everything you said is making sense. But we have to go and take concrete steps for change. Concrete steps. What's the next thing we do? And I am calling out people who call themselves progressive, because anybody can say that. What policy concretely have you enacted that qualifies you for the mantle of progressive? You don't just, you say it. That's like, I can say that, I'm a billionaire, but you check my bank account, I'm not. What policies have you enacted that makes you a progressive? That's the question for today. And that's the question we need to ask any politician, lawmaker, or media person who gives themselves that title. What does that mean to you? And how does it manifest in your actions?